Hello, my name is Cheryl, and I started using ReMar about a year ago because I was having difficulty passing my test. I have severe test anxiety. So the first time I took my test, I did not pass it. I had a panic attack, and it just wasn't good. So what I did was I just started doing research. UWorld did not work for me. ATI did not work for me. And Archer did not work for me. So I was scrolling down Facebook and I saw ReMar. And then another one of my girlfriends told me about ReMar. And so I purchased. I got the quick fact books. I got downloaded everything that I needed to download. Just whatever you offered, I did. I watched the videos a couple of times. I did schedule to take it again, but I chickened out and I didn't go take it. I lost my money. Said, I'm not going to take it because I'm not going to do anything but fail again. So I'm at work and I'm talking to my DON because I still work in healthcare. And she was like, you're going to go take that test. And I'm like, not going to do it. So we created another study plan along with the study plan that I have from ReMar, and we just every day I would do questions and quizzes and watch a video and then do something, write something, a little essay about the video that I watched. If it was a video on blood gases, if it was the video on the babies, if it was a video on the geriatric care, it didn't matter. I would write down what I learned. And then I reread everything and rewatched everything. Well, Wednesday, December the 18th, I didn't tell anybody. I went and took my test. My test cut off at 86. I had a meltdown. That screen went black and it turned off. It asked me 5 questions about the facility and sharing some answers or something like that. And I just knew, I was like, oh. I couldn't even look at it. Every day for 2 days we were at work, they were like, go look and see if you passed the test. Go look and see if you passed the test. Wouldn't do it. Didn't do it. We had a code at work and I went to respond to the code. And one of the nurses came up to me and said, I don't see your name. Did you pass? Blah, blah, blah. I had a meltdown during the code because I thought they just had taken my name out of pending, everything. So our DON went in the corner, looked my name up and came out running and said, you passed, you passed, you passed. So now I am now a nurse. And I'd like to thank you. Keep helping people study. Anybody who thinks they can't do it at any age, know that you can, because I did it.
Hello everyone, my name is Georgina Magora, all the way from Southern Africa. I would like to say a very big thank you to Professor Regina and her husband, Brother Mark. Thank you so much for changing my life and the life of a lot of nurses. When I started preparing for NCLEX, I started by using Saunders and UWorld, and I was doing the questions there. But the day that I knew about Professor Regina, and she was saying content first, I knew I had arrived. I quickly bought my quick facts and my V2. By going through the V2, I knew that I was going to pass. So in 3 weeks time, I was ready for my exams. I went in, and on question 85, that was it. Thank you so much, Professor Regina, and thank you for increasing our faith. Knowing you has changed my life forever. You always used to say, have faith. And when I went for the exam, I was not afraid of anything. I was full of faith, and I did it. When the exam cut at 85, I didn't know whether I had passed or not. But I was so confident because I had content. Thank you for changing my life, in my family's life. I know my life will never be the same again. Thank you.
Guys, good morning. Hope you can hear me. I'm doing this video to appreciate ReMar, especially God for using ReMar, to come into my life to bless me. So I want to say that I graduated in June 2023 of last year, and I purchased Archer because my friends were buying it and it was cheaper at that time. So I purchased Archer. I took my first NCLEX in August of 2023 and I failed. Meanwhile, I took my NCLEX 4 times. So the second time I scheduled to take it in December. I purchased UWord. I had a private tutoring that I was paying like $250 every month, and I bought Kaplan and I was using videos on YouTube everywhere. Whatever I see NCLEX question I want to study, like I was very serious, but I failed with 150 questions. So I was devastated. So I waited. I studied, I bought ReMar, but when I was studying, I was like doing it, I wasn't serious, I didn't even do I was really very unserious. So I took it in April this year, 2024, and I failed again. I told myself, I said, no, Essie, it's too long. Like, you're wasting so much time, money, and everything, and your energy. You have to be serious if you really want to pass. So I purchased ReMar again because I told God, I said, what program is going to help me? So I purchased ReMar and I used ReMar. And I was so serious this time. I finished everything. I scheduled my exam December 4th and I went to take my exam build. The exam showed up at 85 questions. I was so scared, like, God, I failed again. I was like, anyway, if I fail, I'll reschedule it. So, but when I opened my computer to check, I found out I passed. And I was like, how did I do it? Because this exam was like 1 through 3 compared to the ones that I took before. It was very easy at this time. I was like, thank God. So I just feel like I have to share this testimony because I know there are other people who are like me struggling too. So I want to encourage you guys, never give up. If you give up, you lose. So I told God, I was like, God, if I can pass this exam, I was going to give my first salary to the church, which I'm willing to do when I get my first job. So I want to thank God for using ReMar to bless me and for helping me to make the decision to get the good study material that I needed for my exam. So this has really changed my life in so many ways. I preserve life and everything, and I really want to be able to go out there in the field to help people, make more money, take care of myself, and live the dream life that I want to, and help my mom especially. So I passed NCLEX engine using ReMar. I'm a ReMar nurse. I'm a ReMar nurse. I can't wait to purchase the first shift, which I'm going to be buying. I have to read that book because I really need to buy that book, The First Shift. Thank you, ReMar. Thank you.
Hi, it's morning here in Kenya and it's a sunny day, so I'm excited. I like it when it's warm and sunny. So I'm officially a ReMar nurse. I will, I must pass the main class. So I just passed on Wednesday. So it's winning Wednesday, so I passed on Wednesday and I'm so excited. So I'm officially a ReMar nurse. I started the journey back last year, did my NCLEX in September and I failed. So it was such a disappointing time, when you read for something then you fail. It's a disappointing time. So I got to know about ReMar in March. I was just going through YouTube and got to see some ReMar nurse motivation, Monday motivation, and some winning Wednesday motivation. So after the ReMar class, you all know that what happens, there's a verse and there's an encouragement, and it really strengthens your faith. So I just want to show you. I don't want my video to be so long, so I'm looking at the time and I'm like, it's 1 minute already. So these are my books. You'll note that I have 2 V2 trainer books. Mine is one was the free trial, so the other one is the V2. So for the free trial, I did the free trial and the quick facts and took a photocopy because my friend had a V2, so I didn't purchase one for the V2. For the quick facts. So for the V2, yes, I did purchase. So this is the photocopied version. Yeah, but I went through everything. And then this is the quick facts book. You can see I went through everything, and I think I went through it like thrice. Yeah, so that's it. You must pass the NCLEX, guys. See you.
Hi, Professor Regina. Hi, Mark. Hi, nurses, ReMar nurses. It's Stacey Ann, your YouTube person, Natalie Harrison, aka Smash That Like Button. I just came on to tell you the good news. It paid off. Oh my God. When I tell you I studied faithfully and prayed over everything. It's such a great feeling. I just found out. Ooh. Okay. So I can't tell you how good I studied. I studied. Like, I studied to the part where I can't even share my book. Look. I write everywhere in my book. When I tell you, this is not the kind of book that I can give someone else to study from, because I had somebody look in my book and say, Stacey, I took a look in your book and I thought I was going to have a stroke. No. I took all the notes I possibly could, went over my went over my V2 videos all the time, day in and day out. Got in front of that computer, and when I say I prayed, and I'm like, all right, God, you got this. Everything is left up to you now. And it paid off. I'm a ReMar nurse. I'm a safe nurse. I'm an LPN. Woo! I would just want to thank you guys for the motivation, just for being such a great professor. And like, without you all, I would not. I mean, this and this. I mean, I got a folder in here, but it's that beautiful face right there. Okay. All paid off. I'm so excited. I get to sleep in tonight. Okay. I just want to say thank you for everything, and God be the glory. I have, what can I say? Thank you for everything, and I'm just so excited. I have that 3 letters at the end of my name. So smash that like button. All right, love you guys. Thank you so much.
Hello everyone. Hi Dr. Regina. My name is Elsie, and I did my NCLEX exam yesterday on the 4th of November, and I passed. I just got my results today, and I said to share with you and to encourage someone out there. I'm a first-time taker. I used the book, The Quick Facts for NCLEX book. I read this book back and from. I read this book all the way, and I used the workbook also, the V2 workbook. I used it. I did the workbook back to back. And I use the V2 videos, Dr. Regina. Those videos are awesome. They helped me a lot in passing these exams. I thank God for everything, because it wasn't easy, but it was worth it. The journey was not easy, but it was worth it. But I want to categorically state it here that what really helped me with my exams, because I had used other resources before now to study, but the best of them that helped me get this NCLEX passing is the V2. I encourage everyone who hasn't been on V2 to go there. You cannot miss it with the V2. Thank you so much, Dr. Regina, for all you're doing. Thank you so much. I am a ReMar nurse.
Hello, everybody. How's everybody doing today? My name is Jesse Zimmerman. I'm the Director of Operations for Safe Nurse Now, and we are here with Brandon Ross, the VP of ReMar.
Hey everyone, how you doing? Just joining here. I want to see kind of where you guys are from. So if you want to put your location in the comments just to get us started, let me know where you're watching from.
Definitely. We would like to know how far we're reaching. I think the farthest I've seen is Dubai.
Yeah, Dubai. It's that is definitely far. Yeah, from over
Definitely.
but yeah, we want to make sure we're reaching everybody because there's some great opportunities and uh, for all. So thank you all for joining on this Wednesday night or morning, depending on where you're at.
Definitely. I know you guys all have a place to be, but we thank you for taking the time to join us for about, roughly about an hour, where we talk about the pros and cons of travel nursing and just nursing in general, and what type of assignments we have available, that are hot needs currently taking place within Safe Nurse Now. I see we have somebody from New Jersey. Welcome from New Jersey. I know we have definitely have some other people outside of the country, but we can jump right in. If you guys have any questions, please just post your question at the bottom. Myself or Brandon or somebody who's in the back behind the scenes will post your comment on the screen so everybody can see it, and it'll bring it to my attention or Brandon's attention. We'll be more than happy to answer your question.
Yep, definitely.
All right. We'll jump right in. Again, this is a travel nurse webinar where we're going to go in depth about different things that take place. It could be compliance 1 week. It could be traveling, what a pay package could look like. What to expect when you're on your first assignment, how many years. So we'll jump into the first slide and we'll just kick this off. All right. So who we are. Safe Nurse Now we are a staffing agency, but we try to operate a different model. There's a ton of different staffing agencies out there, but we care about the well-being of the nurses. We want to make sure that the nurses feel empowered, that their voices are heard, that you have somebody behind you if there's ever an issue that arises or you want to extend your contract and renegotiate a higher rate. We're there to support you through that process so you don't feel left out. So if it's a travel assignment, a direct hire, a per diem, just know that you have the recruiter that you're working with, and then you have myself that you can reach out to. I don't play behind the scenes. I'm right there. If your recruiter's not helping you, by all means, you can always ask for me, and I will jump on a call, answer the questions, and get what you're looking for taken care of. All right, so we have the first question is from Posh. They passed their NCLEX last week. Can I get a call to talk about my case? Yes. So when you join, you put your information in, your first name, your last name, your email address, preferably your phone number as well. One of our recruiters, Gigi, who plays behind the scenes, will reach out to you and find out where you're looking to go when you come to the United States, where you are in that process, have you passed your NCLEX, and things like that. And arrange a call with one of our recruiters to help you start that process of what coming to the United States will look like on the type of assignment. But first off, congratulations on passing the NCLEX. That is a huge milestone, not just here in the United States, but also in another country doing it, because I know one of the requirements are being able to speak English. So, great job. It's a huge accomplishment. So I hope you went out and celebrated on that occasion. All right. So we'll jump on to the next slide and we'll go into one of our travel success stories. We have a first-time traveler. She took an assignment with us, and she, as many first-time travelers, felt unsure if it was the right opportunity. But with our company, we're there 100%. We will help you find your housing. If you want us to take care of it, we're there to help you find housing options. If you want to take care of your housing, so the perks with us is we give you the benefit of both. We will provide housing. If you don't have the time or energy to look for housing, we'll take care of it. You just show up. stay at the place. We get it as close to the facility as possible, or within an area that you're comfortable at being at, and then from there, all you do is show up for your assignment and then come home, go back and forth. If you're looking for an assignment, or if you're looking for housing on your own and you're running into roadblocks, we will reach out to some of our connections, some options that we have within our wheelhouse, and see if we can find something for you if you want to secure something yourself. There's nurses who like to do it both ways, and we have nurses who just show up in an RV and camp for 13 weeks, which is also an option.
Wait, hold on. We got another success story, but it's on the not the travel nursing side yet, but on the NCLEX side, we have a ReMar nurse who passed NCLEX recently, and they're now an RN. Congrats, Tony. Let's give him a shout out in the chat, everyone.
Nice. Congratulations. That is a huge accomplishment. So again, for you as well, now that you're an RN, we do have opportunities for new grads. We have new grads, experienced positions. Most of our travel positions do require three years of experience for hospital, 2 years for long-term care. So please keep that in mind. But somebody who's a new grad like yourself, great opportunity for you to find something local to really get in there and get your feet wet.
Definitely. Yep. And also, while we're at it, I do see someone who's taking their NCLEX tomorrow for the second time. It's her dream to become a travel nurse, been a CNA for 3 years, and has used ReMar and the V2. So I like your chances tomorrow. We'll be, keeping you in your prayers and thoughts. That you have a
Definitely.
successful outcome.
So I had the privilege of working close with ReMar, and I feel like I talk to Brandon on the daily, and I hear success stories over there where there's nurses who CNAs, LPNs, RNs who failed the NCLEX once, and then they signed up on the ReMar course, and they passed their NCLEX. I've heard nurses who've been out of the industry for 10 years, and they signed up for ReMar, took the course, passed the NCLEX. That's a huge accomplishment. So kudos to you for taking that achievement, especially going from CNA to an RN or an LPN. It's a big step in your career, personally and professionally. So congratulations on taking that first step, and please keep us posted. Let us know when you graduate, if you pass the NCLEX. We would love to hear about it. If you are looking for something in the meantime as a CNA, we can see what we have within our network, because we do have CNA positions that do come available. And if you have the flexibility, we'll be happy to work with you. And
Yep.
greater, we do offer assistance outside the U.S. So if you are in other countries, we do offer green card sponsorship into the United States based on the assignment, based on the availability that we have with our clients. We do have clients that are looking for individuals who have that are overseas that do want to come to the United States. They would do more an in-depth interview with you, because those are longer committed assignments. It's more of a 3-year contract commitment instead of your typical 13-week assignment as a travel nurse. So please keep that in mind. All right. Now let's jump into compliance essentials for travel nursing. So compliance, it could be a headache. There's a lot of things that go into compliance behind the scenes that you don't see that we have to follow, being that we do follow Joint Commission requirements. There's certain things we need to make sure we have on hand at all time. Not only that, it's when you're on an assignment wherever you are in the United States, you have to make sure your documents are current, your nursing license, your BLS, your ACLS, your shots, you name it, you have to have it. During COVID, we had to have the COVID shots active. We had to update it, the works. With us, when you sign up with us and you go into our portal, you're going to be access to a LEAP account that's personally yours. You can upload all your documents in there. You can put expiration dates on there so you're notified via email when they get ready to expire, so you have time to replace them, even if you're on assignment with us or with somebody else. So what we always ask is, have everything. A lot of the nurses work on their phone. Have a folder on your phone with all of your documents, your BLS, your nursing license, your driver's license, if it's one of the requirements. Some facilities require that. Some facilities require the last word of social to make sure that you're not in the system already submitted by another agency. There's so many different requirements that we will make sure that you have in place. Skills checklist. It is probably one of the quickest things to complete. It takes 5 to 10 minutes, sometimes 15 minutes to do a skills checklist, but it is one of the hardest things to get from a travel nurse because it's so easy to complete. They wait till the last minute. And you got to keep in mind, we are in an industry where there's not enough nurses for the positions that we have available. So we know, as soon as we can get your information, and if we're competing with somebody else for that same position because it's a really good pay package, the sooner we get those items in, the sooner we can get you submitted, the sooner we can get you an offer, typically the same day or within a week. We try to do within 24 to 72 hours. If you know of anybody who has positions that we have that you're interested in, we do offer a referral program up to $500 if you refer somebody to us and they take an assignment. So you get a bonus, they would get a bonus, and everybody wins. All right. We have another question from Teddy. I was wondering, my question is not related to this topic, though. I did order my TEAS review book. I was expecting it soon, but also wanted to know about the workbook. I hear a professor talk about it. That is a question for Brandon. He may answer it now, or he may look you up in the system and email you. But I'll leave that up to him if he wants to go over that now.
Yeah, no, we can go over it now real quick. So the TEAS, it is separate. The TEAS for Quick Fix for TEAS book does coincide with the TEAS program, but the workbook is still in development for the TEAS V2. So you have everything you need right now to pass your TEAS. So be ready. I'll follow up with you with tracking information on that as well. Just drop your email in the chat.
All right. So, the biggest thing is just make sure you have your documents on hand, either on your computer or on your phone. The sooner we can get the information to our client, the sooner we can get you submitted, because we are competing with other nurses, other agencies that are out there that are sourcing those same positions. And always one of the most important things, make sure your resume is up to date. If you're going for a med-surg position, you want to make sure you have med-surg on your resume within the last 3 to 4 years. If it's ICU, labor and delivery, the clients are looking for that on their resume. They're expecting you to be able to come in there and hit the ground running on a travel position. So if you are let's say doing ICU, they want to see ICU most recent, so they know that you can come in and do the job with a little to no training, because some of these trainings, orientations, 4 hours, sometimes it's just a day, or as little as 2 hours. They show you what you're doing, where to clock in, where to clock out, where to have your lunch, and then that's it. You're on your own. So the more experience you have, the better. If you're more of a local candidate that is looking to get into the nursing or change professions from ICU to med-surg, not having med-surg experience as a local candidate is we have more ability to communicate that with the client, get you in there, because you're looking to change your profession from ICU to med-surg or labor and delivery. But as a travel nurse, they're definitely looking for that as being one of the core experiences that you have. All right, let's go to the next one. So it's a quick little checklist of what you need to keep updated and organized within your phone, within a folder on your desk, whatever works best for you. Active RN license, like I said, BLS, ACLS, PAL certification, immunization records, TB testing, COVID-19 vaccination proof, if required. Some facilities, even till this day, still require it. Some don't. Background check and fingerprints, those are done every time you take a new assignment. Even if you just completed a 13-week assignment, a lot of clients will still have us order a new one just for their peace of mind and the guidelines and policies that they have. Drug screening, that happens almost at every facility. It's almost impossible to use one from a previous assignment within 13 weeks. And resume and work history, you definitely want that up to date. And references. Every client wants 2 professional references. These are supervisors, somebody that you reported to within the last 12 months. If you're applying for a supervisor position, they are looking for 2 supervisors that you reported to that are above you. Some people feel uncomfortable releasing that information, but we have to have those references in order to submit you for that position. even if it's a direct client, they want the references. They want to make sure that you are who you say you are. We're not questioning it, but for their own peace of mind. Things that can delay or even stop a onboarding process with a client and they move on with somebody else is missing document deadlines, expired licenses and certifications, incomplete immunization records, not following up on the background check or drug screening. Those can get you pushed out of consideration and they move forward with somebody else. These will also stop you from being on an assignment. If you're on an assignment and you're missing your license expires, your immunization records expire, whatever the case may be, as simple as a BLS, and you don't get it completed within a certain amount of time, the facility will have us contact you and pull you from that assignment until it is updated. So we always, we try to notify we notify our nurses within 30 to 45 days of their renewal date, so they have time to go out there, take the online course, go and get the records updated, whatever the case may be. So you are compliant with us, you're in compliance with the facility, and you can continue to do your assignment, because the last thing we want to do is see you get pulled from your assignment, especially since you're traveling in there in most cases to work this opportunity so you can make that extra income. And we don't want you to get pulled for something as little as a BLS. I've personally had to call nurses and pull them because their BLS wasn't updated or their immunization records weren't updated, and it's unfortunate. So we have a nurse from South Africa with ICU experience. Great. We actually have ICU positions available. We actually have one in Texas that's looking for somebody with ICU and labor and delivery experience, or just ICU and med surg. When you came into the room, I believe you had to put your information in, your first name, email. So one of our recruiters will reach out to you. Her name is Gigi. She'll get more information from you if you pass your NCLEX when you're looking to come to the United States and things like that. And then based on your questions and response, we will get you in front of a recruiter that can outline the opportunities we have. If it's a match, we'll put you in front of our client for a one-on-one interview. And then if they approve, then we will start the immigration process to the United States under their green card. Pretty quick process. Well, talking about it, going through it, it could take up to 12 months, sometimes longer, depending on the country you're from, to get your green card. All right, let's go to compact versus non-compact state license. So I get this asked a lot. A compact license is a license that allows you to work in any state that supports the compact license. You have to be in that state. You have to reside in that state in order to get that compact license. So California is not one of them. So if you're in California, you can't get a compact license to any of those states. But if you're in a compact license, you can. You can get that compact license one time and it'll allow you to work in, I believe it's like 37 different states. It could be higher. We have some pending right now. It'll allow you to go in there and be able to work those within those states without having to get that additional license. So unfortunately, I wish they made it universal, where a compact license worked in any state, but California, we all know, like, California likes to be different. If you live in California and you want to work in New York, you want to work in Florida, you want to work in Washington, you have to get a license for every state. And then you have to keep those licenses active if you want to keep working in those states. So it could become costly. So people who are not in a non-compact state, they pick certain states that they want to work in and they stay within those states. People with compact license, you can work within the compact states, but if you want to go to California, you would have to go and get that license in California. Health and safety requirements. This is a huge one. We want to make sure that you guys are, and ladies, are taking care of your health. Working these assignments are very beneficial for you, but your health is more important. I know travel nurses who have put in 60 to 70 hours on a shift, and we've had to call them because we see it happen back to back, and we call them and say, hey, you need to, not work as much. I know you're doing it for the hours, but your health is important. We don't want you to have a breakdown and become ill, because if you're not able to make it in, you're there to help those patients. So we really want to make sure that you're taken care of. So we do watch the hours that you're working just to make sure that you're taken care of, not just the patients. So that's one way we go above and beyond, is, your safety is number one for us. Making sure your vaccines are up to date. Varicella, hepatitis B, anything Tdap, flu. Some facilities require a flu shot. If you don't get the flu shot, you got to wear a mask. So the nurses who are experienced, they get it. They've been through it. So it's nothing new to them. Annual physical, those are requirements. We want to make sure that you're taken care of. You're in good shape to do the assignment. In all my years of doing this, I've only had 2 nurses that did not pass a physical, and we could not put them on assignment. Everybody else, we were able to. So, I know a lot of the nurses, you guys stay in really great shape. So it shouldn't be no problem for you. And then facility-specific credentials. You're not just following our policy, you're also following the facility's policy. You show up when they want you to show up. You do the job that you're brought on to do, but you're also following the policies within that hospital. And you can always ask, what their policy is. When you go through their onboarding, they're going to give you their policies. There are certain requirements. A lot of them are, you have to take a lunch. You have to take a 30-minute lunch, or you have to take an hour lunch, depending on the length of the shift. And if you don't, you can get docked for that. And if the points add up, they're going to pull you from the assignment. And that's for one of their internal nurses or a travel nurse. But they're watching their travel nurses because they pay more to have you out there, because you're filling a hole. But they still have policies and procedures that we have to follow, and the nurses have to follow while they're on assignment. All right. Let's go to
I got a question here. Actually, someone was wondering if they newly qualified and passed NCLEX but hasn't practiced for 5 years. Would they be able to get a job as easily as like an international nurse entry position? But they do have 15 years.
So someone with 15 years, it depends on what you did in the last 5 years. So the facilities that I have talked to that are interested in international nurses, they're looking at your experience. So if you haven't done anything for 5 years, but maybe be a stay-at-home mom or a stay-at-home dad, it'll be hard for us to convince a client to pay to have you come over on a green card for a 3-year contract. If you are looking to get into the process, I would definitely recommend, getting into a facility that's local to you, just so you can get a refresher course. A lot has changed in 5 years, regardless of the country you're in. The healthcare system, some countries it is outdated. A lot of countries it's not. But it does change every year. It's changing. It's like technology. It's never going to be the same the previous year. So we always recommend, if you've been out of the industry for 1 year to 2 years or 5 years, to get into a facility and get your feet wet. Get up to date on what's currently happening now, so you have a better understanding. You're more comfortable, taking an assignment, especially overseas. If you took an assignment with a green card, and or an H-1B, and you don't meet the qualifications that you presented in the interview process, they could drop you as a candidate. And the only option is, if we can't pick you or put you into another assignment, is send you back to your home country. And we don't want that. We want you to stay here within 3 years and then extend and continue to go. So that is always a something to take into consideration. You want to make sure you're 100% confident before you take an assignment, of like something like that, because you are an international candidate coming to the United States. So it's a longer process compared to somebody who's just local. I see a question from Karen. I'm in Connecticut, currently a pediatric nurse for 17 years. I was thinking of working a few months in California. Great. California is great right now. It's just going to get hotter. So, you're more than welcome to come over. We do have opportunities that do come up in California as well. So like I tell everybody, please put your information in when you sign up: your first name, your last name, your email, your phone number. Gigi or one of our other recruiters will reach out to you, learn more about your experience, where you're looking to go in California. Are you looking to go northern, southern? And then we can match you with something we have within our network.
And just to add to that, like, the fastest way to get attention from this webinar is if you go to remarnurse.com/apply and fill out the Google form you see. It takes like 2 minutes to fill out. And once you do that, Gigi will have a better understanding of where exactly you're at and what you're looking for as far as opportunities to help get you placed in something.
Yeah, we've actually had several nurses who've gone through this process, and they're talking to our recruiters. they're being submitted to these opportunities. So please, put your information in. We want to talk to you. That's why we do these webinars. So that there's an agency out there that is there to support you, who not just says it on their website, but communicates it with you. We interact with our nurses on social media. We want to make sure that you guys are heard and appreciated.
This person's wondering what the criteria is for being a part of this program.
Well, in layman terms, it's free. There's no membership, but we want to make
$19.99 a month.
Right. My Venmo is, but it's an opportunity to join a community. ReMar Review has 700,000 plus followers within the network that are healthcare professionals. We're not even close to that under Safe Nurse Now, but you're joining a community where you're not able to just connect with our nurses, but you can connect with their nurses as well, and interact and be a part of a bigger community where, it's not just ReMar looking out for their nurses, it's Safe Nurse Now as well. We want you to be a safe nurse. We want to make sure you're taken care of. If you trying to find an assignment in a place and you can't find it, reach out to us. If you know a facility that could use a Safe Nurse Now, let us know. We will reach out to that facility, get a contract. You will get a bonus as well for referring it to us. So do we train nurses from that we bring from outside the U.S.? So we do work with nurses that are outside the U.S. Ideally, the nurses that we're looking at already have the experience to be an RN in their country with a BSN or MSN. LPNs, I'll be honest, I have not received an LPN assignment or a CNA assignment for an international candidate. It's been mainly RNs or allied professionals. Not saying that it's impossible, but that's what ideally the clients are looking for, because there is a cost to bring somebody over on a green card. And if you want to bring your significant other or siblings, that's an added expense. And sometimes, a lot of times our agency covers it until the individual comes over, and then, they work the 3-year contract. In some cases, the facility is going to take care of it because you're going to go on their payroll. So the training, they're going to make sure you have that training when you come over prior. So if you're looking for an ICU, we're going to match you with an ICU position here. Once you're here in the United States and you're working in ICU and you want to switch to another profession, or specialty, med surge, labor and delivery within that hospital, that would be between you and the hospital to discuss. And then I see, does the bonus include per diem? So it really, the per diem, if you're only picking up one shift, it wouldn't really apply for that, because if you receive a $500 bonus but you work a one shift for 8 hours, we would be in the negative profit wise, but we can work on something on a per diem level. I have not been asked that, but that is something I'm going to go back to my boss and figure out how we can put something down on a per diem. I'm also looking at options now to see if we can do a quicker payout for per diem, so you're not waiting till a Friday, but more, a 1 or 2 day payout, so you're getting a lot quicker on a per diem.
That'd be great. And, I know one of the other things people are asking about other than bonuses is about housing. That's the biggest thing on a lot of people's minds. I know it's sometimes a barrier for a lot of people to prevent them from, doing travel nursing. So did you want to talk a little bit about the housing aspect of it, Jesse?
Yes, definitely. Because I can get off topic and talk about travel nursing for hours. The housing is pretty simple. There's 2 options. If you're a travel nurse, you're going to receive a travel stipend. That travel stipend will come with a meal stipend and a lodging stipend based on GSA rates for city and state. It changes monthly. If you cannot find a house or you don't want to look for a house, we will take care of that for you. You will still receive your meal stipend, but we will take the travel stipend and apply it towards the house that you're looking to stay. So you don't have to worry about it. You don't have to find it. All you do is show up, and it's taken care of for you for 13 weeks. If you are looking for your own housing because you want that travel stipend, then you will receive that travel stipend and the meal stipend every week. while you're on assignment. And if you're having trouble looking for something, reach out to us, reach out to your recruiter, and we will work with you to find something within the area that you're going to be on assignment, so you have that housing covered while you're there. But majority of our nurses are asking us to take care of it because it's just one less thing that they have to worry about. They just show up, they make good pay, and then they go home.
Right. We got a good one here. International RN working in Canada. How can I work in the U.S. and do we need a language test?
Yes. So one of the requirements for a license, you got to speak English. It's one of the requirements. Read and write English, and that's one of the requirements for the green card or the work visa. Being that you're in Canada, there are different ways, from my understanding, but you still need to be able to read and write English, but you can get a work visa. Unfortunately, because of the rules and regulations that's been coming over from the last administration to this administration, the good and the bad, there is still work visas that need to be required to come into the United States. Even from Canada, they are a lot easier to get. But it is a work visa nonetheless. And once you have that, we can work with getting you an assignment here in the United States.
I saw one question here actually. For international nurses, can we help with visa processes?
Yes. So we do have a full immigration team that will work with you. If you are selected for the position, we will hand you off to our immigration team that we will work closely with. So never feel like you're being left out, but we will work closely with the immigration team that will work with you to make sure that we are submitting the documents that are needed for the green card in time. We're meeting the processing fees, and we're meeting all the deadlines that are required for the green card to progress through the process. Because if we miss anything, they could bump you to the back of the line, and we don't want that.
All right. Got someone here actually with they have 3 years experience and they did pass their NCLEX with some med surg experience.
Mm-hmm.
So I know typically we're looking for what is it, 5 years experience, Jesse?
Is it for international or?
I'm not sure on this one. Hannah, are you in the U.S. or outside the U.S.? Let us know in the comments.
So
we'll get back to this one maybe.
So if you are within the United States, we can help you. Even if you're outside the United States, we can help you. It just depends on your background and experience. Because if you are international, they may have you come in under what you've been doing for the last 3-4 years. And then if you want to transition into like a med surg or something else while you're at the facility, that could be something that could be arranged or discussed during the interview process. But a lot of facilities are short staffed, so they do like people who can flow to other units. So it could be a win-win for you.
Yep. All right. Let's get into some of the hot jobs.
Perfect. So what everybody came for. So we have a new hot job in San Angelo, Texas, RN med-surg. It's a rehabilitation hospital, nights, 36 hours a week. It's an 8-week assignment, ASAP start. So pretty much you give me your resume with 2 professional references. I submit it to the client with your skills checklist. They'll let me know that they want to do a quick interview with you. Could be half hour to an hour. Once approved, boom, we start the compliance process, and we typically get it done in about a week and a half, as long as the nurse is responsive. Then we can have you show up at the assignment. This position does pay at $36 an hour, OT rate 54. The weekly stipend is $1,246. That's based on the GSA standard for meals and lodging, with a total gross of $2,542 on 36 hours. If you work 40 hours, you make even more. Overtime starts at 40 hours. So it's a greater opportunity. You can net 3,000 plus at the end of each week. A lot of travel nurses, I don't know too many travel nurses who just work the minimum 36. They're usually working 45 to 48 hours because they like that overtime opportunity. So if this position does interest you, there is a $500 sign-on bonus for these. So if you're an RN and you have a Texas license and you want to take this med-surg assignment, please let us know in the comments. Gigi will reach out to you if you signed up, or you drop your email and she'll arrange a meeting with myself or another recruiter, and we'll get you submitted for this assignment. So not only will you get that, you will receive a $500 sign-on bonus on your first check when you arrive on this assignment. All right. The other one is Coleman, Texas, RN labor and delivery. Same thing, nice, 36 hours. These are 312s, 13 weeks. So this is a 13-week assignment with an opportunity to extend. So it'll be a total of 26 weeks. The hourly is a little lower based on the location, because that is a $33 an hour, OT rate $49.50, weekly stipend $1,246 with a total gross of $2,434. So with this opportunity, there is an opportunity for work overtime. There is an opportunity to extend. And if you are looking to float to other units to get experience, Coleman is a great place for you. This isn't a remote area. It's about an hour outside of the major city. So, if you're looking for the city life, this may not be for you. If you are, I wanted to say, I believe it's by Dallas. If you're in Dallas and you want to drive an hour out, this could be an opportunity for you as well. And we have a question from Dania Joseph. Do we have opportunities in Florida? We have stuff coming through. We're waiting for the confirmation from the client so we can present it on one of our next lives. So you guys can take a look and let us know. Also, take a look at our Facebook. If you're not in our Facebook group or following us, we do post our positions there as well. So anything that new does come in, we post it there for everybody to see first.
Jesse, these are really good opportunities, and there's some really great starting pay rates.
Mm-hmm.
But why would anyone want to be a travel nurse in Texas? Can you tell me?
So, so it's not just Texas, but some of the Texas, one, is warm. So if you're in a cold place, you can go to a warm place, but the high demand and competitive pay for nurses across the state is increasing. Their nurses are wanting to get paid more for the work that they're doing. They've been underpaid for many years, and we are one of the few agencies that advocate for higher pay for our nurses, because you guys deserve every penny that you earn. Warm, sunny weather year round. Their winters, we have an individual, Scott. He's been on these calls several times. I think he said he saw snow once last year, and it was nothing crazy. Texas is a compact state. So if you're in a compact state now and you have a compact license, you can come to Texas. You don't have to get another license. You're already ready to go. If you do need to get a license in Texas because you're not in a compact state, then by all means, please let us know. We will help you get your license. We will reimburse you for that license on your first check. So not only do you get reimbursed on your license, you also get the sign-on bonus. And it's a double win for you. You get to keep the license wherever you go. And if you take another assignment with us in another state like New York, and you need to get a license in that state as well, we will help you there too. We want to better you as a nurse and get you get the license that you need to do these assignments. So please, keep that in mind. And Prosper, do we work with permanent positions as well? Yes. If you're looking to relocate to a state, I look at it both ways. If they have a travel position available, take it. Take that travel position at that high pay. And then while you're doing that, we can work with the client and say, hey, look, this person, Jane Doe or John Doe, loves your hospital so much, they want to become a permanent resident and work at your facility. What does a sign-on package look like for somebody like that? So not only are you getting the travel pay, you're getting experience of the hospital, you're learning the place, learning the in and outs, you're learning that you can work with everybody there but John Doe in the mess, in the cafeteria, but everything's working out perfectly for you. So we help you with travel, we help you with a sign-on bonus to become a permanent nurse within that hospital.
What about this one? This one comes up a lot, actually. We have a lot of new grads here because this is a ReMar. We're on ReMar's Facebook and YouTube, but this is our partner, Safe Nurse Now. So a lot of you guys are passing NCLEX every day. So a lot of people want to know how much experience is needed for these type of opportunities.
Yep. So new grad, 0 to 2 years of experience. If you're looking for a travel assignment, I always recommend 3 years with a hospital, 2 years with a long-term care facility. There are There are facilities that'll say they'll take 2 years, and there are some facilities that'll say that they'll take 3 years, or long-term care facilities. It really depends on the client, but the typical is 2 years for long-term care, 3 years for the hospitals, because they want you to be ready to do your job when you show up. They don't have time to train you. If they had time to train you, they'd find somebody local and bring in a new grad. They're trying to, but they need experienced people in there. So we always recommend, at least have 3 years of experience if you want to stay in a hospital. If you're an international nurse, same thing. They're looking for 3 years of experience. They're looking for that individual that can come in and do the job right away. It's hard to sell a new grad on an international level than it is somebody who's already experienced. Um, that is international that's looking to come to the United States, because they will do a one-on-one with you. They're going to ask you more questions, go more in depth about your background experience, what you do know, what you don't know, what you're comfortable with. They're going to check your language. They're going to make sure that they can clearly understand you. So reading and writing English is very important. So there's a lot that goes into an international nurse, because they're going to invest a lot of time and money having you in their facility for 3 years. So they want to make sure that you can do everything from A to Z that you say you can. With a local nurse or a travel nurse here in the United States, we've all seen it. We've all been there. Nurses have seen it from other nurses. They show up at a facility, or they show up at a facility with another nurse, and that nurse said that they could do ICU and they couldn't. And that nurse was let go, because they didn't meet the requirements that they said that they could. And that's what we take that approach with our nurses, and really make sure that they can do what they say they can, so they don't get canceled. They don't have to worry about finding another assignment after spending money to go to an assignment. So it's another thing why we want to make sure our nurses are safe nurses, and we take a little longer to vet our nurses to make sure it's a good fit.
Jesse, someone earlier I saw that asked if we had opportunities in Massachusetts. Do we have some good opportunities there?
Yeah, we have some Massachusetts option availability. I think we have a slide. There we go. Brockton, Massachusetts. RN Telly nights, 36 hours.
All
So we
right.
have a Yep. We have nights. We did have a day one, but it filled pretty quick. But we do have nights at 36 and 48 hours. This is a 13-week assignment. We have a nurse on there now. This is her second renewal. The pay rate is $33.5, $33.50 an hour. OT is 50.25. Weekly stipend is $1,300, and the total gross is about $2,500. Now we are changing the pay package for this Broxton one. If you are interested in the Telly one, I definitely tell you to take a look at our Facebook group. We are increasing the OT rate to be more competitive, and the hourly. But if you stay tuned, you'll see it on we're just waiting for approval, but it should be live either tonight or first thing tomorrow, so you guys can take a look at it.
Awesome. I think we got another one here for Massachusetts.
Oh yes, labor and delivery. Same thing, nights and days. They're looking for 36 hours a week, 13 weeks. If you want to work more than 36 hours, by all means, let us know. We'll be more than happy to advocate to the client. This one, a little different. This is $40 an hour with a $70 an hour OT. That is more than time and a half. So you're having an opportunity to make more. It's $1,300 weekly stipend, but the total gross package is $2,740. This client's a little different. OT, it does start at 40 hours. So they do, if you want to work overtime, it is there. We have some nurses, for example, that are doing 48 to 52 hours a week right now, because they need the help. So if you're a labor and delivery nurse or a tele nurse and you're okay working nights or days, please let us know. You'll receive that sign-on bonus, and we will be able to get you in on this assignment. They're looking for somebody ASAP. With Massachusetts, unfortunately, if you do not have a license in that state on the day that you apply, they will automatically kick you out. They want to make sure you have your license in hand prior to submitting your application to this position.
Yep.
They can't wait, unfortunately.
Right. And we have a couple questions, but before we get into these questions, I do want to ask, for the people wondering why Massachusetts. Some people have never been there. The East Coast, if you live on the West Coast or you're international, you're not familiar with Massachusetts. So, why would someone want to work in Massachusetts?
Yeah, so there's a lot of key things with Massachusetts that I like. A lot of their facilities are top ranked hospitals. They have cutting edge care and technology within those hospitals. The competitive pay, you can easily earn $100,000 a year as a travel nurse in Massachusetts. Um, you enjoy the rich history, the culture, the scenic weekends off. If you're able to get weekends off, anytime really. If you're not in a hospital, you're enjoying the sightseeing, you're enjoying the community and things like that. Experience better staffing ratios and nurse support. Where the facilities support nurses coming in, where you don't feel like an outsider. Benefit from simplified licensing with NLC expansion. Um, so it's not always just about the hospital, it's about the state that you're going into as well. So keep that in mind when you're picking these assignments. Another big thing is these. I know we keep talking about it, but I'm going to try to make sure we get a webinar that bases what travel nursing looks like on a pay package. A lot of travel nurses do these assignments. If we can go to the next one of the next pay packages, I can help explain why travel nursing is so lucrative for a lot of nurses. We can go to the next one. I think this one, oh no, this one doesn't show it. If we can go back to the labor and delivery one, I can help explain why travel nursing is so impressive for any nurse. When it says 1,300 a week weekly stipend,
Mm-hmm.
that is a tax-free stipend.
Right.
So you're only being taxed on the $40 an hour that you're working and the $70 an hour in OT. That's what you're taxed on. That's what you're giving
Wow.
to Uncle Sam.
Yeah.
The 1,300 weekly, it's not taxable. It's a tax-free stipend. And as long as you're following the rules and regulations with the U.S. government and the GSA and the policies that come with it, it's tax-free. So when you'll get taxed on your $40 an hour, but you won't get taxed on that 1,300. So nurses, they do it because it's a tax-free stipend that they get to keep, and they don't have to pay taxes on it, and it accumulates. And if they're doing a 13-week assignment over week at the every 13 weeks at the same location for a year, you can claim that stipend tax-free. After a year, it becomes taxable. So then you have to go to another city in another state and do it for X amount of time before you can go back and get it tax-free again. So a lot of nurses, they will literally bounce between 2 facilities or 3 facilities year after year and get that tax-free stipend. And that's why it's more lucrative than your typical nurse, working local. And the other piece is you get to see the country. You get to see what Massachusetts is about, what Texas is about, California, Washington. It's a great way to see what part of the world you want to settle in, or what part of the United States you want to settle in if you're looking to relocate. So it's a win-win for everybody.
Yeah, that tax-free is huge. I mean,
Yeah.
you'd have to probably make like $2,000 to clear like 1,300. I mean, you're saving like $700-800. At least I know in the state I live in, the taxes they take out, that's huge.
Yeah, especially in some states like California where it's double tax. It can add up quickly.
Right.
All right. So I know we had some other positions that popped up. It was in New York.
Yeah, let's pull them up. In the meantime, while I'm pulling that up, we have a question. Let's see. International. Here we go. So this is asking about visa process.
So right now, the only support we can offer is the green card. When we start going into the H-1Bs and things like that, you're going into a pool of candidates. So this year for the H-1B, it was 65,000 for H-1Bs with bachelor's, and then I think it was 25,000 for master's. So if I submit your information, I'm competing with 64,999 other people. So what I was told is, for every one person you submit, you want to submit 7 other people in hopes that one of them is selected. Um, the facility wants to interview you. They want to know that you're the one that's coming. So the green card route is the only safe route to make sure that they, not only the facility is getting that the nurse that they're looking for, but you're going to work for the facility that you interview for. They don't want to, they don't have time, and they don't want to interview 7 or 8 people in hopes that one of them is going to be selected. Because if it's not selected, if you're not selected, then you have to wait another year to go through that process again and hope that you're selected then. Now, with the new immigration rules that are, in effect now, green card is probably the safest route until we find out, how the administration is going to handle the H-1Bs and those processes.
Yep. I'm gonna put these New York jobs up, but I did want to ask Carol. Are you coming? Where are you at? Did you pass NCLEX yet? Are you coming to the Philippines reviews?
All right. So while we wait for her to respond, I see Alicia. She asked if we have occupational therapy positions. Yes, we do have some in California. If you are interested, please reach out to Gigi when she reaches out to you, or drop your email, and she'll reach out to you about the opportunities we have in California for occupational therapy. I believe we have some in Colorado as well, but I know for sure we have some in California, and that same thing does apply. Even if it's an occupational therapy or allied position, the sign-on bonus does apply as well for you. So for some opportunities we have in New York, we have Vessel, New York, multiple locations. We have 2 LPNs for day. We have 5 LPNs for nights, and then 2 LPNs for evenings. If you are an LPN in the area, international or not internationally, local or within the United States, and you're interested in the position, please let us know. We'd be more than happy to offer you the sign-on bonus and get you in front of the client for consideration for these positions. These are urgent needs. So resume, nursing license if you have it on hand, 2 professional references, your skills checklist, and we can get you approved for a position of your choice. If you're looking for the pay package breakdown, one of the recruiters will get on a call with you and discuss that with you in more detail.
Yep.
All right. Last question from Alicia is, do you have opportunities for dialysis centers? Yes, we do have them that do come up. I don't believe we have any right this second, but those, our needs literally change every day to every hour. So if you're, please join our Facebook group. We will be able to post our needs there. You'll be able to see them, ask questions, communicate with our recruiters, communicate with other nurses, team up and take these assignments together. If one of those LPNs was five individuals. If you don't want to go alone, travel with some other nurses. A lot of nurses will travel together. They'll get a house for 5 people, and that allows them all to save on their tax-free stipend and be able to take more home. So if you have a travel buddy, bring them with you. The opportunity applies for them as well. If you bring a friend, they receive that sign-on bonus, you receive the sign-on bonus, and everybody's a winner at the end. So if you're interested in these positions, please go to remarnurse.com/apply, fill out the form. We will be in touch with you. Gigi does a really great job reaching out to everybody, and is more than happy to reach out to you, get you in a conversation with one of our recruiters, so we can go into more in depth on what you're looking for and what position do we have available. Regarding the EB3, because of everything that is taking place within the policies and everything's changing right now, we only offer the green card process at this time. If you are interested in a position that we have available and you're a travel nurse or an allied worker, please reach out to Gigi. When she reaches out to you, she'll get you on a call with myself or another recruiter, and we'll be able to answer any of the questions you have regarding the EB3 or any other process that we have available at our disposal.
Yeah, and you know we can only cover so much in like these hour sessions. That's why we want you to leave your info, fill out the form on remarnurse.com/apply. It literally takes 2 minutes. I
Yeah.
just did it myself just to actually see. If you actually sit there and think about the questions, it's really simple process. So do that. It'll help you. It'll help us. And come back next week. You know, we do these every week, or we took last week off. See, I wanted to know too. Also, how many people have been on these webinars before? Let us know in the comments. And if you have, you know, I want to know what's stopping you from taking the next step. You know, is it something that you want more information about? Anything we can help you at all? You know, just leave your questions in the comments. Fill out the form. We want to make this as seamless as possible for you all.
Yes. And see, we comment here. Do we offer? Kindly brief me on how possible it is for a psych nurse to take NCLEX. I believe your NCLEX is open to for anybody. It's not just open to a general nurse. So Brandon can elaborate more on that. But I believe any nurse who wants to take the NCLEX from a CNA, LPN, or potential RN can take that NCLEX.
Yes, yeah. Every nurse actually in the U.S. has to take the NCLEX exam to practice nursing, and that's one of the reasons we talked about a little earlier with the language tests and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
The NCLEX is only presented in English,
Yes.
so we do have there's testing centers in the Philippines, in Africa, Nairobi. You know, the test is always going to be in English. So that's another reason why the English language is so prioritized in the field of nursing. But yeah, it is. It's every nurse needs to take the NCLEX. So I would recommend if you're not international, reach out to your local state board of nursing for the requirements. If you are international, um, still reach out to ReMar at support@remarnurse.com, and we can help direct you in the right place. We have partners in the Philippines and Kenya, and working on more partnerships internationally. But we can definitely point you in the right direction, especially if you're in one of those two locations.
Most definitely. But that's all we have for today. Again, reach out to fill out the form at remarnurse.com, apply. We'll be more than happy to talk to you about the positions we have. If you mention any of the positions that we discussed on this webinar or any of the previously ones, you still are entitled to that a sign-on bonus. If you refer somebody, you receive a sign-on bonus. They receive the sign-on bonus. You will receive a referral bonus. If you know a facility doesn't need of help, by all means, please have them reach out to us or give us contact information. We'll reach out to them. If we were able to secure a contract with them with active positions that they need help with, you will receive a referral bonus for that as well. Again, you know, we want to make sure every nurse that comes aboard is a safe nurse. So if you haven't taken your NCLEX yet and you need some support, reach out to ReMar. Brandon will be more than happy to work with you guys on that one. If you are passing your NCLEX and you're ready to take an assignment, or you're here in the United States ready for your next assignment, please reach out to us. We want to make sure we can line you up with the right opportunity. All right, everybody. Have a great rest of your night.
All right, guys. Have a good one.